Hey everybody, just Jesse here welcoming you back into my man cave, my garage, for another day of accountability, and I hope you guys are doing well with your accountability. If not, today's a new day. We can start now. Go ahead and get in the scripture and say some prayer and move forward. Always fall forward. So today we're going to talk about leaders that are supposed to be hosts to people in their lives. And we're going to talk using 3 John, primarily the verses of 3 through 12. So as I look to 3 John, I realized that 1 John's about God's life, and 2 John is about God's truth. So just like John 14 says, I'm the way, the truth, and the life, 3 John is going to be about God's way. John's using a descriptive picture as a host in this letter. This is his last letter. And hosts are to take initiative with their guests. They do what is right by others, making them feel comfortable. They give the direction to the conversation. They provide for others. Leaders, like hosts, don't react, but they act. They don't wait for things to go wrong. They go out and make things right off the bat. They go first and risk whether the other person will respond positively or whether the other person will like them. It's just a part of being a leader. Leaders are always the first out the gate. Now John shows us the differences between going first and wanting to be first. He talks about Diotrephes, and he says that in 3 John verse 9 that he loves to be first. How cool would that be, right? Loving to be first. Now, Diotrephes wanted to be first, but not in serving others. So, loving to be first, wanting to be first, but actually being first are different things. Here we see the difference between guests and hosts. What does a host really look like? Well, leaders, or hosts, take initiative in their lifestyle. Verses 3 and 4 say, "It gave me great joy when some believers came and testified about your faithfulness to the truth, telling how you continue to walk in it. I have no greater joy than to hear my children walking in truth." That's awesome to have John talk to you in a letter about that. Now, we need to go and we need to be in truth. We need to walk in truth and walk in God's grace and show mercy to the people around us. Well, that brings me to the next little point. Leaders and hosts take initiative with others, especially strangers. In verses 5 and 6, John writes, "Dear friend, you are faithful in what you are doing for the brothers and sisters, even though they are strangers. They have told the church about you, about your love. Please send them on their way in a manner pleasing to God." That's an amazing thing, to be able to just reach out and help people. These people are out as missionaries. They're going out in the name of God. And that brings us into the third point, which leaders or hosts take initiative in owning responsibility. It was for the sake of the name that they went out, receiving no help from the pagans. We must show hospitality to such people so that we may work together for the truth. That's verses 7 and 8. The name that they're talking about, it was for the sake of the name, is the name of God, Jesus. They went out as missionaries. And so we need to help out people that are going in God's name whenever they need help. Now, the fourth thing is that leaders or hosts take initiative in doing good, by acting and not reacting. So John says in verse 11 here, "Dear friend, do not imitate what is evil, but do what is good. Anyone who does what is good is from God, and anyone who does what is evil has not seen God." How true is that? People want to know about having discernment over whether or not somebody knows God. Well, just look at how they act. Their life will depict how they act. Do they have the fruits of the Spirit? The fruits of the Spirit, come out in masses with people that have Jesus in their life. Like it's just so relevant and prevalent in their life that it just comes out, and you can see it. That's how you can tell. Now, lastly, leaders or hosts take initiative in modeling for others. Verse 12 says, Demetrius is well spoken of by everyone, even by truth itself. We also speak well of him, and you know that our testimony is true. This is John speaking to the person that he's sending this letter to, saying that if we're in truth and we walk in truth, then we need to model that for others in a way that others will be able to be reached by it. Not everybody's going to be reached by the way that you model something. Just know that God has different molds cast and there are different molds cast in the fire, and his refining fire is what we talk about. So I don't believe that leaders are born. I believe that they're made. God uses his refining fire to forge the best leaders. All we have to do is keep our eyes and ears on God. And once he molds us into the leader he wants us to be, it's our turn to model it to the masses, not as someone who's boastful, but out of love, in order to give those who don't know Jesus a chance to meet him one day face to face. As God molds us, he molds us to reach certain people. Now, every leader has the ability to touch the hearts of the group around them. But don't worry if someone doesn't come around to you if you're the leader in that group. It's likely that God has poised another leader to help reach that person. He's refined him and made him into a model that other person will actually grasp from. But maybe you're the one that talks to him first, and maybe you get that little spark or that little seed out there. And so that's an awesome feeling. Just know that we're supposed to go out into the masses. We're supposed to help other people of God, and especially strangers, people we don't know. But we'll be able to tell who love God, because they'll either be doing good like it says, or be doing evil, and we can tell that by what God tells us. So, all right, guys, thanks for hanging out with me. If this has touched your heart in any way, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. I like to see that you guys like what I'm putting out there, and I'm putting it out there, but I believe that it's God speaking through me. So these are things that I've learned as I've read through different parts in Scripture, and I know that God is bringing that because I've been praying for him to reveal some wisdom and knowledge to me. So if you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and do so. And if you want to know when my next video comes out, it will come out every day because I strive to stay accountable. However, if I do miss a day, I'm not going to be defeated by it, because I know that tomorrow is another day and I can start over fresh and start my trek again. So if you do want to know about my videos, go ahead and hit the bell there, and it'll give you a notification when I make one and send it out there to you guys. So lastly, if you think that this could touch somebody's life, go ahead and share it with them. There's a share button, and then input the information there. Thanks, guys. I hope you have a great day.